People like you who want to do something that looks after people, that provides a need for society, are struggling, and banks are not looking after you.
Not at all.
Whereas people who have houses and who actually have the houses, because if you got the house and the price goes up from 200 to 600, you're okay. You're sitting on a 400k gain for doing absolutely nothing. So you're busting a gut to put make ends meet and staying at home to 27 to 30. But somebody who's bought a property, if you bought with whatever money 10 years ago, would have made another 400,000 for doing absolutely nothing, for just sitting on their backside.
Well, yeah, at the moment, you're either, the way it's gone, you're either at the top or you're at the bottom, and there's no in between at all.
So what we've identified is what money should be doing. Money should be ensuring that people's needs are met. People like you who are trying to help that people have their needs, not just the customer, but also the person who's doing the job, and you're not being looked after because the monetary system is fundamentally broken, and it inflates food. So the first thing that we've identified is that when the government said inflation is 2%, you know it isn't. Everybody knows it isn't.
It's definitely not 2%. No, it's definitely not 2%.
It definitely isn't 2%. And you talked about 50%. To me, I know that in our area, I think, not that I've ever bought a box of eggs, but my wife tells me that a couple of years ago it was 60p. Now it's literally £3.50. So crazy numbers. And in fact, there's no reason at all for the price to increase. So people are exploiting the opportunities. And it means that employment.
But why have them eggs gone up so much? What's the reason for that?
To me, there's no. It's going to be something to do with what people are able to charge. Well, why did prices go up over COVID? Yeah, did prices increase over COVID as a result of COVID?
After COVID, I think that's when I started to notice prices started massively going up.
Yeah,
that's the real turning point to when things started, going up at a rapid rate. But
it's exploitation. It's because people can get away with it.
Is that what you think it is?
I know it is. I know it is. It's people are charging. And we just, in the example of the houses where house prices are pumped up massively, which means the young people can't buy houses. And that's because the banks are not doing the job. There is a role for helping people like you to get onto the ladder and to help them to meet their needs. And they're not doing the job. And they're instead inflating prices of both consumer goods, whether it's food and clothing, and also houses. And that's what the Manage Journey is about. The work we're doing is identify that we have to go back to basics, because people like you should be encouraged.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you're not. You're doing it despite the system, not because the system.
There's no encouragement. There's no, the way it's gone, there's no encouragement for young people to get on the ladder, because it's just too hard. I just don't even think they see that as a possibility now. I think that's ultimately the bottom line of it. There's no way you can see yourself achieving at the moment, because the system is just. And
what you're saying is it's a lovely job. You have a barber shop with a buzz, where you've got 5 chairs, you've got 5 people, almost entertaining and building a relationship with customers. And because of the fact that the banking system isn't working the way it should do, we've got most barber shops are actually foreigners who for whatever reason have moved. Do you know any of these, by the way, your competitors from overseas? Are there some people here that come and cut hair?
I've got some. There is a couple of people locally that I do talk to, but they're in the same position, and they're going through the same struggles that I'm going through at the moment, and we talk about that a lot.
Are there any barbers coming here who actually don't come with their families, and they may have their families in Eastern Europe, or there's not much of that?
Yeah, I've had that a lot. I've had people message me, say, I'm looking for a job, I'm not in England. I've even had some people say, can you offer to house me, So
wow.
that happens a lot.
Again, which is meaning that it's impossible for Brits to actually get the job because the numbers don't work for whatever reasons. Therefore, people are coming along from overseas. And often they're being separated from their family. If they can't afford to earn enough, because they can't afford to pay rent. And the same problems you've got in terms of rent are there, but they're leaving their family away. So it's actually breaking up families as well, because if they're staying, keeping their family in Eastern Europe, or whatever it may be, again, it's not creating a society where people are bound together. So we've identified a lot of very significant problems with the economy and the struggles of people who want to do good, who want to look after themselves.
So what do you reckon the solution to all of this is?
Yes, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think it's relatively simple. It's going to be simple, otherwise people won't understand it. What do we need in life? Yeah, we need. What do you want? You want to have a meaningful job. Yeah. You said at the beginning that you want a barber shop where there's 5, 6 chairs, where each of your people, you want to be able to give people opportunities, apprenticeship. You want to be able to meet the needs of the person who's. You want them to you want the buzz. You want the buzz. Therefore, you want to make people happy. So you want to meet the needs of the people, your own needs, because you're clearly not driven wholly by money. Otherwise, you wouldn't come into this.
Well, this is the thing. So a lot of barbers do it because they enjoy barbering.
Yes,
that's why they do it. So there's a balance of earning enough money and enjoying your job. But at the moment, there's no balance between the money and the enjoyment. And
to me, what you're trying to do is inspirational. You want to look after, you want to provide your own needs. You don't want to be in benefits. You've got no interest in being in benefits.
No, definitely.
And therefore, what are your needs? You want to be able to, you want a meaningful job, which cares for other people. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which provides for other people. You could choose to have a barber shop for yourself. You want to provide five. I
want to give them good jobs. I want them to enjoy themselves, but I want to be in a position where you can pay them enough money that it makes sense for myself and for them.
So effectively, you are perfect. You're a model of what we need. People who want to meet other people's needs, to care, to build relationships. But the system doesn't work.
No,
the system enslaves. In other words, in order to do it, you had to stay at home with your parents simply to put the money for build up the saving. That is ludicrous.
It is.
It's not fair. It's simply unfair. It's crazy, and therefore, and even then, when you buy a flat, you still are enslaved to the bank because, as we've identified, so we have to start to make money work. At the moment, money is enslaving. The cost of living, as we've identified, has increased manyfold. Nothing like the lies that were being told by. We established 2%. So you're enslaved to the government that is doing all kinds of complex stuff with legislation. You're enslaved to the bank who initially wouldn't lend you the money that you needed.
They wouldn't. No, there was no help there.
So money isn't working, and the Manor Journey is about this: how we can start re-envisaging a system that money starts to meet people's needs. And what are the needs? You identified very well. You need a job, but not. You need to be able to support one day a family. You need to be able to meet the needs of others. You need to be able to have your own home that you can call your home, and you need to be able to.
Well, this is it, and I can't physically afford to pay the staff that are here enough money for them to raise a family, get on the property ladder with just them. There's no way, the numbers wouldn't add up. It would be physically impossible. So how do you think we could get it to that point where I can pay them enough?
Yeah, you're right. It's because you have to go back to the beginning and understand what money's about. I think what money's about, very simply, is meeting people's needs. Yes. And your needs are food, clothing, accommodation, family, community. Yeah. You've identified community. You're providing a kind of pub-like environment. And you're the kind of person that should be supported by money, and you're not. So we have to go back to basics and actually start to rethink what money's about.
How do we do that though? How are we going to start from now to strip back right to the basics?
It's by educating. This video and this podcast should go a long way to starting to spread. We want to share the ideas. You are the kind of person that could be a model because you're ambitious. And you're not. You weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Yeah. And you've done what you've done with hard work, and only because your parents were fortunate enough to allow you to live at home without paying.
For sure.
But you're the kind of person that we need to model, and we need to start conversations where people start to say, "Wait a minute, why is a banker or a lawyer charging £1,200 an hour, and you are striking
£18 a haircut?" Yeah.
It's crazy. So we have to start that conversation, and then because at the moment. The system is not, you have no voice. You know that it's not working, but people like you have not got a voice. What can you do? You can vote in an election. When you vote, does it make a difference to what actually happens in society?
Not really, no, does it?
No,
Not really,
the
no.
opposite doesn't. So we have to start a conversation where we start educating people. People start to realize that money's broken. Money is not, it should be helping you to meet your needs, helping you to meet the needs of others. And I think by starting the conversation and working the way we are with the manager, and we can start that conversation, get people understanding why the system is rigged, and start to allow them to put pressure on others to change the system.